I'm Darlene, and if this is your first time with me, I hope today you'll find these little pansies that I'm going to show you how to make a really cute little project. Yes, these are like the latest craze I've noticed on the internet, and this is my version of them. First, you're going to need a circle. I used the 1 3/8 inch punch on, and what we're going to do is we're going to mount all of the petals onto this, and I'll show you. This is how it looks when it's finished, so you can see why I did the hole. As I said, you're only going to need 2.5 butterflies. You're going to make a lot of these. You can continue on and punch another one, but seeing I'm not, I'm just going to punch half of him. I'm going to cut the 2 whole ones in half. I'm going to place these so you can see how we're going to position these here. And then the next one, you're going to have 2 halves, and we're going to trim these for the side petals. Let me move this back over here so you can see kind of where we're going with it. The 2 top ones are the ones with the glitter, and then the bottom one will be this one, and the 2 side ones are the ones that I'm going to show you how to cut right now. And I'm basically just going to cut around here and taper it up. And I also trim it a little bit, same again on the other side. And I go lightly and then build it up a little bit. They don't need to be perfect because all flowers are different. Sometimes I make little marks so that it looks like the natural veins. Continue on doing that to all 5 petals. And then we'll put a little touch of purple inside that. I try to build it up a little bit darker in the middle. That on all the rest of them also. Continue on through all 5 of the petals, building the color up. And your last one. First of all, anybody that isn't a fan of glitter, for like this sample, and you don't want these top petals with a little glitter on them, then you would skip this step. But what I do, take my 2A glue pen. You're only going to do this on the 2 top ones. Don't try to make them perfect because it really isn't a perfect look. You want it to look very random. But I kind of like my paper flowers to have a little dimension to them. So I take my bone folder, and this is just a foam mat from the Mat Pad. If you have a mouse pad or any other type of foam, you will need that for this step. Something that you can push on that's going to give a little bit. Need these edges to be somewhat ruffled, where the top ones are just smooth and kind of curved. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to show you how I came up with the idea to ruffle these. Take the round edge of the bone folder, and I push and follow it around. It's not like you're pushing real hard. You're really just breaking down the fibers somewhat. Then I turn it over and I take the pointed end and just follow that edge around, and it will automatically curl. The harder you push, the more curl you'll get. The farther up you go, obviously the deeper in your ruffle look will be, but that's the effect that you want. Continue on with the other 2, and you're only doing it around the bottom areas of these petals. You don't want to do it up into here. Continue on, finishing up this one. Same process. I think it makes them look much more natural, and I really liked how they came out that way. Now the next thing, don't put your bone folder away yet, because what I like to do is also, I want these to kind of curve up. You can do it with your hand. You could push them up around your finger. You could use, I have my paper piercing tool, you could do it this way. Just kind of pinch around and you'll get a curl. But seeing I already have the bone folder in my hand, I usually just take this side and go up. So the motion is like this. Push up on the paper up against your thumb, and it's really not pushing hard at all. Same thing again on this side, so you get a nice curl. So you can get the same effect either way. I do the same thing with this one. Of course you do it with the good side or the pretty side facing away from you. On the top ones, I just take the bone folder, and you just want to do the same movement, but you just want to get a little curl. You don't want it to be overly roughly, just a little curl for dimension. They'll all be different. You can also adjust them at the end. And see how I curled that just a little? Hopefully you can see that okay. Alrighty, so now we're ready to assemble. But sticky strip worked the best for me. Try anything that works for you. If you want to wait a little bit, I think any kind of liquid glue, Tombow Multi, would be wonderful. But what I did was cut total 5 pieces of sticky strip, 3 longer and 2 smaller, and they're going to go on the back of all of these. So I put the sticky strip pieces in the center. I'll keep them turned over for you so you can see how they all go. And I'll give you a kind of a close-up on how these go on. Okay, now what I do, you can also bend these a little bit if you'd like. Sometimes I pinch them, sometimes I don't. They all vary, and that's the fun part about it. So just take off your red backing strip. And what we're going to do for the top, we want them to overlap. So always keep your center where you're going to line up your petal. Have one going this way and one going this way. If you want to use an imaginary line, that would be a great way to figure out how you want to put them on. And I overlap. This is one of the reasons why I like the sticky strip, because I'm always fussing with the petals. So you put your top 2 in first, then you're going to do your side petals. Right here, and we're going to do the bottom petal. Put that, and then you pretty much center here like this. You want it to look natural. You can kind of play with them. As I said, that's what I always seem to do, is putz around with them. Can't seem to let things go. And then you want to put a few veins in here, which is pretty nice. And these are just hand drawn in, and I use my Stampin' Right marker in the basic black. There's 2 ends to this. I'm not going to use the brush point, I'm going to use the fine tip point. These are great markers. You just want to put a couple of little vein lines in. All you have to do now is put your brads in. Now, I kind of like to use the yellow on this one. Just put them through and spread the brad legs apart on the. So I'm hoping that you like all of these. Here's my little assortment that I did. Pretty. I think you'd love trying these. Have fun. Bye for now.